to share with you about the performance appraisal queen that I met. I was in the Midwest working with a group of executives at their offsite meeting. And I got into a conversation with the associate director of the organization, and she was the head of HR, and she said, I am the performance appraisal queen. I'm head of HR. I have every right to rank, rate, criticize, and if necessary, blame people. I will hold the individuals accountable. And I said, and we were having a discussion for about an hour. And I said, that is not your role, because your role is to create an environment where everyone can contribute. So if you are constantly, blaming and judging, how are people going to feel? They felt fearful of her, intimidated, and they came to work with their heads down, and they weren't creative like they could be. So at the end of the conversation, going back and forth, where she wanted to hold people accountable, and I said, you create the system, you're accountable for the system, they are only responsible to contribute to it. There's a big difference. And she said, no, and I said, okay, it's the end of the day. What I would like you to do is go home and look up the word responsible and accountable and notice the difference. And so they left for the evening. They came back the next morning. Everybody was pretty quiet, wondering, how this conversation was going to continue. And she said, Marcia, in a very different voice, I am so sorry. And I'm like, what are you sorry about? And she said, I took up so much of our time yesterday because I didn't understand the difference. I will never be the performance appraisal queen again. I give up my throne. I had no right to judge, blame, criticize, rank, and rate the individuals for the work that they're doing in the system that I created. And they could not do their best. They didn't have the resources, or they didn't have the training. So that was her pivot. And I said, don't be sorry. That was step one of a learning journey that you're on.